Hi guys, it's Christy and welcome back to the Pop-Up Couch Facebook. How are you today? So nice to see you. Happy Friday to everybody out there. Just checking in with you guys just for a few minutes to see how you're feeling. How's your week going? Of course, hey Marilyn, how are you? Of course we have Mother's Day this Sunday. So we're going to start with that. All right, let's start with Mother's Day just for a second. Number one, I want to thank all the moms out there for doing the best that they can do, number one, right? Because we're only capable of what we're capable of, you know? So if you're doing the best you can, that's enough, right? But I also want to thank the moms out there that are kind. I wrote this down because I didn't want to forget. Hi, Pablo. Hi, Fed Hill. How are you guys? I want to thank all the moms that are giving, number one, kind, okay? Number two, also unconditionally loving their children, number three. If you're a mom and you're doing those three things, congratulations. You're wonderful, you're perfect, you're an angel on this planet, and we should all be bowing down and thanking you, okay? Also, I want to say something else, okay, about moms. Moms, as wonderful. Thank you, girl. I love you. Thanks for saying that, honey. You look great, too, and I miss you. As far as all the, thank you. As far as all the moms out there, okay, that are doing their best and all those things, here's the thing. What you need to do on Sunday are two things. Number one, thank your children. Thank them. Say, hey, listen, I love you. Thank you for being a part of my family. Thank you for allowing me to be your mom because it's a blessing and I feel so fortunate. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Number two, lower your expectations for Mother's Day, okay? Just because it's Mother's Day doesn't give you the right to just act like some queen on the throne. You're not a queen on the throne, honestly. And if you think you are, you're crazy, okay? This is the truth. Here's the thing. It's up to your kids and your spouse or whoever it is to do what they want to do for you. Now, if you're one of those people, and I'm not judging, there's nothing wrong with this. If you're someone that really wants to be made a fuss over, okay? If you really want flowers and you want a card from everyone and that card has to be a Hallmark card, it can't come from the dollar store, and you have to have reservations for brunch at some big fancy restaurant, and you have to have time to do your hair in the morning and wear that pretty dress that you've been dying to put on, and you have to go get your nails done, fine. Fine, fine. All that is totally, totally fine. And you deserve to have all those things if that's what you want. But the thing is, you need to lower your expectations if your family doesn't know that those are all the things that you're hoping for that special day. Some women, okay, will just want to spend quality time with their kids, you know, go for a walk somewhere in the park. Some people want to cook dinner all day and entertain the rest of the family and have them over because they like to do that. Whatever it is that you like to do as a mom, make sure that you're very clear about what it is that you're hoping for, all right? So when the kids say, hey, Mom, what did you want to do on Sunday? What did you have in mind? You say exactly what you have in mind. Don't be shy. Say what you want. Say, hey, listen, I actually would really like to have a couple hours of just me time. You know, I'd love to just go to the gym for an hour and I want to just have time to, you know, unwind, maybe read a book in the sun and somewhere. Fine. Whatever it is so fine, but you just have to verbalize it, okay? You can never expect people to read your mind, especially your spouse. He doesn't know. He has an idea what you may want or may not want, probably because he's thinking about what we did last year. And if last year worked out, then that was great. So let's try. That's how men are. No offense, guys, but you know that's true. If things are going according to plan, well, why change it, right? Like a typical guy would probably say, well, hey, listen, we took her out to breakfast last year. The kids and I signed a card. We got her some flowers. She seemed happy. That was good. Well, maybe it was. But if it wasn't, now's the time. It's Friday. All right, you got 2 days, ladies. Now's the time. If last year wasn't what you wanted and you're walking around with this nasty, bitchy face because this isn't what you wanted, change it today. Seriously. If your husband hasn't asked you yet what you want to do, then you can say, hey, listen, honey, send him a text right now. Put the phone down. Don't even watch me. Send him a text and say, hey, listen, I was really hoping that maybe we could go to that restaurant down the street, then maybe we could grab dinner, and then maybe you could take the kids for an hour and I could get my hair blown out, whatever. Please, ladies, for the sanity of all of us. All right? I already was asked, by the way. Lucky for me, my husband said, hey, listen, you know, what did you have in mind? And I said, you know, I'd love to spend the day at the beach. Any beach, anytime. I don't care. If it's raining, well, you know what? We'll do something else. Totally fine, though. Totally. I'm going to go to church in the morning with my daughter. I'm going to go to my son's soccer game with my husband and my daughter, hopefully. And then after that, if the beach is good, it's good. If it's not, we'll do something else. But I'm low-key, all right? Nothing wrong with anyone who isn't. But where I'm at now in life, I'm good being low-key. I used to be a little more expectant of things and people, of course. But I've learned over time that that's not healthy. It's not healthy to expect so much from people, okay? Hey Dan, I can only expect a lot out of myself, okay? So I hope that helps you guys. Share this video with any mom out there who, you know who I'm talking about. Some moms, in the past, I have known some moms that would look at a card and she would turn over the back of the card after her kids handed it to her, and if there wasn't a Hallmark label, she was pissed and she threw that right in the trash. That wasn't good enough for her. Not judging, just saying, if that's who you are, be clear. Be very crystal clear, all right, with your kids and your husband about what the day should look like. Whether it's Mother's Day, your birthday, your anniversary, this carries over to everything. If you're not clear, no one is going to do what you want them to do, all right? And we're going to segue right into mind reading. Ladies, your kids and your spouse will never be able to read your mind. Newsflash. It just doesn't happen. They have no idea how to do that. So tell them what you want and tell them what you need. Period. Very simple, right? Simple concept. For some reason, we all have issues with this. Me included in the past. Many, many, many issues. And now I just say it. Just get it off your chest. You know what you want. Just say it out loud. Simple. If you don't want to cook dinner, say, listen, let's go out for dinner. That's it. All right, let's talk about menopause. Scary subject, guys. Hold on a second. Don't tune out. I'm not going to spend more than 2 minutes on this subject, but I have to bring this up. I have to mention this. I know it's very hard to hear this. It's weird. It's like, oh, what is that? Just give me a second, okay? I need you to hear. Menopause is not an excuse to be, now give me a minute. Here's a little list of things that you're not excused on here if you're going through menopause. Are you ready? You're not excused to be pissy, short, angry, unpleasant, unkind, or miserable. Those are not excuses because you have menopause. Absolutely not. And it's unacceptable. I know someone personally. She's very sweet. She was telling me recently, actually just a few days ago, about her mom and how her mom is going through menopause, and that's the reason why her mom is so all of those things I just mentioned. And a force to be dealt with, pretty much. Nobody wants to be around this woman, including her own daughter. Ladies, it's not an excuse. I don't care if you're on your period. I don't care if you're going through menopause. I don't care. It doesn't mean you're allowed to do those things. It's not nice. Seriously, ladies, stop. No. No, and you know what? You can have a bad couple hours, but you don't have to have a bad day. You can have a bad 10 minutes and then find something to be happy about and get over it. If you're feeling not so great, take a Tylenol, all right? Have some wine. Do whatever it takes, but get yourself out of the state of those places, okay? You are not. That is not okay. All right? All right, we're done with that subject. Thanks, men, for holding in on me there, for hanging in with me, I should say. All right, let's move on to something else, more pleasant. Self-employment. Me personally, I will always be self-employed. Well, what does that mean? Because you guys know I have a few jobs. Well, here's the thing. I personally work on bettering myself every day, and I work on being better to others every day too. So regardless of what job I have or, you know, what W-2 form I'm filling out, it doesn't matter to me. What honestly matters to me is I am self-employed. I am my own boss at the end of the day, and my progress and the hard work I'm putting in really only reflects on me, myself, my journey, who I am, where I'm going. Okay, so food for thought, okay, for you guys. The word just, J-U-S-T, excuse me. This word was thrown at me recently by someone who I respect, okay, And the word was thrown at me to hopefully hurt me. Let's put it that way. All right? Because the word just can hurt, actually, if you allow it to. Now, I did not allow it to hurt me because I know it was coming from a place of hurt and disappointment and all that stuff. And I feel for this person, and I really hope this person feels better, okay? It's not about this person at all. It's about the word just. Me personally, and I'm sure, and I want to speak for you guys too, I am not just anything, and neither are you. You're not just a woman, just a man, just a social worker, just a janitor, just a sister, you're not just anything, okay? And if someone says that to you, like, hey, you know what, who do you think you are? You're just a ... fill in the blanks. No, you're not. You're many, many more things than that. And if someone just sees you as just that, well, that's their problem. That's their filter on life. That's not your filter. That's not who you are. And that doesn't have to stick to you. So I wanted to mention that to you. Like I said, I am not trying to hurt anyone's feelings out there. And not everyone is in a place of peace and happiness. And that's okay. Hopefully they will be eventually. Okay? Here's a quote for you guys. Letting go of toxic people in your life is a big step in loving yourself. And we always talk about loving yourself. You have to love yourself and respect yourself. And people will only treat you how you allow them to treat you. Very true. So if someone's toxic, either get rid of them or keep them as far away as possible. All right? Please. I also want to thank DJB Productions Network. Danny, my friend on here, thank you, Danny, so much for inviting me to be on the network with you guys. You know I love your podcast. Danny has a few great shows out there for you guys that like wrestling. He has a DJ's After Dark podcast that I absolutely adore, and it is absolutely my pleasure to be a part of this team. Thank you, Dan, for inviting me. And if you guys do want to see my little clips of the Pop-Up Couch, you can totally check them out on YouTube at DJB Productions Network. All right, guys? And the Pop-Up Couch has a new home right on the network. So thank you so much for that, Dan. I really appreciate that. And it's my pleasure to be a part of that. One more thing before I sign off with you guys. All right, let's talk about unhappiness just for a second. I want to ask you an honest question, and I want you to ask yourself this question too. How long have you been unhappy for? It's deep. It's hard to listen to. It's hard to answer. It's hard to think about. But the truth is, if this isn't you, great. But if this is someone else you know, hopefully maybe you could, forward this video to them or mention this to them and ask them this question, because most people don't ask themselves this question. They just settle. And the word settle sucks. Settling blows. You shouldn't be settling for anything in this world, okay? How long have you been unhappy for? Ask yourself that question. And then the second question is, ask yourself why you're unhappy. Right this moment, just say, listen, why am I unhappy? What is it that's making me so... You can go pay to see a therapist, and I'm not telling you not to do that, but you don't have to do that if you just ask yourself this question right now. A lot of times we can self-diagnose ourselves if we ask. We already know the answers. That's the thing, guys. There's nothing wrong with therapy, nothing at all, especially when you need to vent to someone who's not going to judge you, who's going to listen to you, who's going to come from a point of view of just... Listen, let me see what I can do to add. A therapist asks you the right questions, all right? They ask you the questions that you're not asking yourself. But I can tell you right now, those two questions will help clear up a lot of junk in your mind. So ask yourself that, how long have I been unhappy and why am I unhappy? And just think for maybe 5 minutes about the answer. You'll come up with the answer. And a lot of times you already know the answer, right? And the last thing to do after you ask yourself those two questions is take action immediately. That's it. Simple, right? Simple advice, but a lot of us don't take it. We already know what's bothering us. We already know what's on our mind. We already know what we want to change. We already know what's not working. We already know what we're settling for. Make a list of things that you're settling for. Hopefully that list is very, very short, okay? If it's long, today's a great day to start knocking things off that list. All right, guys? Don't settle for a less than wonderful, beautiful, enjoying, amazing life. Don't settle anywhere, okay? I love you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. All right. And if your mom is alive, you're so lucky. Tell her how wonderful she is. Hey, Rose. Speaking of a wonderful mom, Rose Stevens is one of the greatest moms of all time. She just signed on. Rose, seriously, you set the bar so high. All right. Rose is an absolute perfect example of what a mom represents. All right. She loves her kids. She gives her kids space. She gives her kids unconditional love. She doesn't judge them. She's there for them. She's best friends with her daughter. This is something you don't hear about every day. All right. Rose, love you, girl. Cheers to you. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. All right. I will definitely see you Monday. Let me know how your weekend went. Reach out to me anytime you need any help with anything. It's my pleasure. Okay. I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. And again, check me out on YouTube, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.